Hey y'all, it's Cambria.
Hey, hey y'all, it's Desinae.
Hey, I'm Jada.
Hey, I'm Jay, and you're listening to 4 Deep, a podcast. Sorry, I gotta start all over. I thought I had it memorized, but I don't. And usually I have it like up here. Yeah, so let's keep that up. Hi, I'm Jay, and you're listening to 4 Deep, a podcast with 4 Black women in their 20-somethings who aren't afraid to get deep with it.
Yes, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram at 4DPod, FOURDEEPPOD. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, don't forget to rate us 5 stars. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications.
And as always, we love to hear from y'all what you think about our episodes and what our deep rating was. So please let us know in our comments, our DMs, our Spotify poll. Last week, y'all gave us a couple of 4 deeps. That's what we like to hear.
Okay.
That's what we like to hear.
Yes.
And we are about to go ahead and get into Rosebud and Thorn. So if you are a new listener or you're watching this on YouTube, Rose is something that happened in our week that was really good and we're pumped about it. A bud is something that we are excited about that's coming in the next week. And a thorn is something that was a little and a little salt on the game in the last week. So who wants to go ahead and start this one up?
I'll go first. Oh, go ahead, Desinae.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. I've been thinking about this, y'all. Okay. This is the first time I've had it together. Okay, so I have a few. So one of my roses went to DC and I had such a great time. Ran into the 2 of our 4 deepers. And that was great. It was just nice being in a new city. I've never been there before. And it was great. No complaints. I still think it was crazy how like you could just be chilling, walking, and you look out your window or you look to your left and you see the Capitol building. Like, wow, okay. So that was really, really, really nice. What else? Another rose. I think me and Digi found a place to have the next flea market. So that's exciting. And if you aren't already, follow Black Biz Flea Market on Instagram. You can see it in my bio too. It's a local San Diego flea market. So yeah, follow and support. And we're having a Juneteenth,
Ooh,
So
I love that.
I'm gonna just say that. So more information coming soon, but that was a really, really exciting news from last week. Some more exciting news. UC San Diego they're going to be opening a beauty supply on campus. Like, talk about progress, okay? And I'm gonna give myself my flowers because I feel like I was a part of that, coming into fruition. So I'm so happy. Like, that's just gonna be such a great resource. So I love that. And then also yesterday was Easter, aka Resurrection Sunday, and I did 2 new things. I attended Transformation Church's live because I was gonna do my usual church back in LA, but by the time I woke up, it wasn't gonna be going on until 10. I thought they were gonna do like an 8 a.m. service, but they didn't. But Resurrection Church is more, I don't know where it is, but they're a little bit ahead of me. So by the time I was up, I just had to wait a little bit for them to get started. So that was really nice. It was a great program. And I've been wanting to watch, at least a sermon from them. I always hear good things and I always see clips. So that was a really good service. And then I also went to the zoo yesterday in San Diego. And it is so big, y'all. Like, I was just excited to see, lions, tigers, maybe, a few bears, monkeys, birds and monkeys. But y'all, they had elephants, they had giraffes, they had bears, grizzly bears, black bears. We saw penguins. It was cheetahs, y'all. That zoo was huge. We didn't even look at the entire zoo, and we were there for a long time. So highly recommend, if you can go, please go, because it was a great time. I'm not the biggest fan, of zoos because of captivity. Like, I was still walking around there like, dang, like, y'all really, got snatched up. Sometimes they say, we took them out of a bad habitat. Like, Okay, but I digress.
I'm sorry.
I
Smashed Up
digress.
has me
Yes,
has me weak.
Because like, oh my gosh, how did you get here? But anyways, nonetheless, it was a great time. And yeah, so we had a few roses. It was a great week and weekend. I feel like that really helped set the mood for this week. So that was really nice. A bud that I can think of right now is the Nigerian Student Coalition Conference is this weekend, also known as NSCC. This year, UC Irvine is hosting it, and I'm going to be a vendor there on Saturday for their Afro flea market. So I'm so excited. Yeah, this is my second time like having a table, or my third time having a table somewhere. So I'm super duper excited. And yeah, so I've been planning and stuff for that, gathering everything together. I was looking at the date and I'm like, oh, like that's this weekend. I need to get it together. So yeah. And then a thorn, this morning I decided, well, the other day I bought it's this thing from Trader Joe's. It's called like eggless eggs. So basically eggs for people who are vegan. And I'm like, okay, let me try this. Da da da. Y'all, I tried it, like open mind, like tried it, put it in a pan. I mixed it. I made like a little scramble, da 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 da. Seasoned it. And y'all, it was not good. Like I did not enjoy it at all. I did not enjoy it at all. And I tried to like, really, I had a few bites, but the consistency was just
I just
consistency was
knew you
so
were gonna say it
bad.
was good.
No, it was a thorn,
It was a
thorn
thorn.
in my butt this morning for sure. And so, yeah, and like I was just thinking, I'm like, dang, maybe this is how people feel, like people who don't like eggs because of the consistency. It was so bad.
Was it like
But
chalky and
yeah,
grainy?
no, it was just really just like not slimy or slippery. It was just mushy. That's what it was. It was mushy. And the way it cooked, like I was surprised, it was hardening a little bit like eggs and but it just didn't get that solid that an egg would give you. So I'm not getting that and I'm gonna throw it away. I hate to waste, but
Oh, wait, no, Trader Joe's, you can take it back even if you opened it.
Really?
I'll be doing that. I'll be doing
Okay,
that. Wow,
Trader
thanks for
Joe.
telling me that. Because I was
Yes.
gonna throw it away. Usually I'll give it to my mom, but I'm not going home for a minute and I already opened it. So I don't want it to go bad. So
Take it back.
noted. Okay. Yay. Okay, I'll be doing that. So I don't have to waste it either, or whatever they do with it. But yeah, that's my rose button thorn, y'all. And yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll go next. So for Rose, I know that I didn't even mention it the last time I recorded. I don't know why it didn't come up, but my birthday did pass. My birthday was on April 1st, and next year I'll definitely do like 25 years is like it's like a big thing. So like I'll do a party and like I'll have, all my people come out around me. But this year I really just kind of wanted like a really deep, like self-care type of day, like really, really deep. And so I would say like the biggest rose from that day would probably be getting a massage for the first time. When I tell y'all it was heavenly, the full hour, just getting rubbed down, stretched out. It was like, okay, this is something I need to like work into my calendar. Like I need to do this like once a month or every 2 months or something like that. Cause really, I just know like I was all super tensed up. And I feel like they can tell, like you can definitely tell the difference between somebody who actually comes and gets massages here and there, and then people who don't come, because my body was just so tense. Like I was so knotted up, but I left there feeling like so, so, so good. I also went to a break room, let out some rage. And I've been wanting to do that for like a long time. Yeah, they put you in a room, you could put your music on, whatever the case may be, and literally just smash stuff. That was some well needed therapy session. Really got some stuff out. Had a bomb brunch. I mean, like some like bomb breakfast. I'm trying to think what the place is called. It might be called More Than Waffles, something like that. But it was fire. And then I feel like I got another rose, but I can't remember it, so we're gonna skip it. I'm gonna go to my thorn because I do have a big thorn. So I ended up having a job interview on Friday. On Thursday, I planned to, prepare for the interview, research the company, get my stories down, all of that stuff. And then it was like sometime at night where like I put my planner down and I never picked it back up. And I should have picked it back up because then I would have seen like you got to research this company, and I would have, I would have did that for sure. But I never picked it back up. So I go to sleep. I wake up the next day. The phone call that's waking me up out of my sleep is the interview phone call. I didn't research the company. I didn't prepare for the interview. I just didn't prepare.
Oh my gosh.
And girl, and it's so crazy because I've been like planning to prepare all week, and then I just dropped the ball. And now I feel like I feel like I tanked it. I still, I'm waiting to hear back from them. They said I should hear back from them by Wednesday. Still got my fingers crossed. I still want to claim this. But I definitely don't feel like I put my best foot forward like I could have. So that was really a thorn for me. That was a really big thorn for me. And then a bud, shout out to Jay for sending me the Black Mentor, the conference or whatever. I do plan to go to that. I plan to go to both of them. So one on Thursday and one on Saturday, just to get some more information and training on how to build businesses. So yeah, girl, I'll keep you updated.
And shout out to Akia for sending that link over, because she sent it to me because she knows I'm in LA or that area. I'm like, I'm not gonna be out there that weekend, but I know a few people who might be. So let me spread the word.
Yeah, I'll get out there. We get out there.
And I'm sorry about your interview though.
Yeah, that really hurt my heart
because I know, like,
so
waking
excited.
up out your sleep, like, oh my god, like you still trying to get your life together. You trying to get your mind straight. You just woke up, and then it's like, now I gotta put on my interview face.
Sleepy voice. That was like the first time that I was able, like, I woke up and I had to like immediately like, okay, bitch, your voice you can't be rapping. You just woke up. So you gotta really, and I did though, like I hopped on, like you wouldn't be able to tell that I was asleep. It really wasn't easy though, which it was not easy to like turn my little sleepy voice off. But I definitely like, yeah, hello. Had to hurry up and snap into it. We got a couple of laughs and giggles in the interview and stuff like that. So hopefully my likability and conversation was like good enough. But I feel like the biggest part was that she asked me what I knew about the company. Like she literally asked me, and all I could tell her was that I know that you guys are an architecture firm, and that y'all do this, and that. But it definitely wasn't as in depth as she wanted it to be, because then she went into more detail about the company. So that's where I feel like I really dropped the ball, is researching and getting as much information on them as I could. But my lesson is definitely learned, and I'll never forget again.
We'll be praying to hear that you hear some good news.
Girl,
yes, God please.
Thank you.
My heart broke for you. I was like,
no. Girl,
I know.
I was so mad at myself. I was so mad.
Cam, do you have one? Or
I feel like me and Jay switch spots because I'm doing this on the fly. I'm gonna start with my rose. I would say one of my roses was, again, linking up with Jada and Jay when they came. It was so much fun. We went to see the cherry blossoms and whatnot. I think it was real funny how we had to put a bag on Jada's head to preserve the press, because we didn't know what the weather was doing.
Yes.
And it never even really rained, but we just knew it was going to start pouring. It was like a hurricane out of nowhere.
That's literally what it felt like.
And then we walked away from the cherry blossoms, and the wind just went away. It just went away. Let's see, my other rose, yesterday, one of my friends at school, she invited me to go with her and her family to church for Easter Sunday, which is nice, because I didn't know what I was about to do. Last year, I just watched at home. But this year, I was like, no, I kind of want to like go back to church, especially because it'd be the first time going back to church since, I think, like 2019 for me. But I just didn't really know where to go. I wasn't finding any churches that were really like I could see myself going there, kind of thing. So she invited me to church with her, and I really enjoyed it. I just, I get tired of seeing the Easter skits. I love the production and I can understand the effort. And then I also have to think too, there's people who are seeing this for the first time. So it's not about me who's been in the church all my life and has seen 70 different iterations of the skit, but I just be sitting here like, you can only see people carry a cross in with people in, the Halloween store Roman get up so many times. It was me. I can never be serious. So it's me like just hoping somebody has the same sense of humor around me and will like understand that I'm not laughing because like it's funny. It's not funny, but it's just like I'm just never serious.
I am weak.
I'm never serious. But the Lord knew my heart, so. And then let's see, my bud. Oh, my books. We have some solid picks, y'all. I literally started reading the 2 that I posted last week on the 40 page when I was taking over on Thursday. Or maybe it wasn't last Thursday before. Either way, it was 2 of them. One is called Fumbled, and the other is called, not be forgetting the title. It's like an island getaway, island weekend, island something along those lines. And basically the first one is about this woman who's like, just been doing her own thing. She had a baby at 16 and moved away and was just like, taking care of her kid. And now it's 9 years later. And the father of the child comes back into their life like randomly, unexpectedly one day. She just walks into work and sees him. So I read a couple of pages of that. And I like it. And then the other one, this one was going on a family vacation. And like she felt pressured to have to bring like a significant other. So she hired somebody to be her man on this trip. So that one is also pretty interesting so far. I didn't read too far into them because I'm still trying to read Sisters Are All Right. But I just wanted to make sure that I had some good ones because I just been so disappointed. But yeah. And then also I really like Sisters Are All Right. Haven't been reading that one as much recently. Just haven't been reading too much. Trying to get my head right because my thorn is that finals are here. They are here. I got to finish a root canal tomorrow and got to turn in some projects tomorrow. And then I got tests possibly next week. We're still waiting to hear from admin if they're going to let us move our exams, which I hope they do. But then that also means I literally have, I think, almost 3 weeks worth of finals. But I mean, we have so many classes. So
yeah, exactly.
I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, but
child, every time.
Right, every time. But this is the worst of it, y'all. Once I'm done with these finals, I will never have to take this many tests again. So that's another worst.
You can say you did it. That is very satisfying.
You standing on top of that hill, right? That Jay was talking about last
enjoying the view. Enjoying the view.
Yes, enjoy the view,
How's your week been, Jada?
It was good. I'm trying to think about what my roses are. While I do that, Jay, you were talking about the zoo. And I looked on Eventbrite and they have like this adult night at the zoo thing. And I think I'm about going. Like,
you should go. Y'all at San Diego Zoo, they had margarita stations. They had all kinds of stuff. I said this why the parents be up in here having a good time because they are drunk. They're drunk.
Right, looking at the animals. I can't.
Okay, like
yes, they're literally gonna have like they're gonna have a DJ, they're gonna have a bar, they're gonna have I think like an ice cream booth. Like, and you already know ice cream anywhere is gonna drag me in. So I'm just like, I kind of want to go. So I'm thinking about it. Let me see. Okay, so roses. I would say yes. Okay, I posted it on my takeover today, but this past Holy Week was really, really nice. And this was my first time actually like letting go and just worshiping. Like there was tears coming down my face. Like I really felt the presence of God at the Good Friday service. That was like a really, really nice service. I went to the mother church, the mother campus of my church, and it was a super huge like church. I was like, wow, this is gorgeous. And the kids area, I was like, I want to go. Okay, can I play there? Like it was really, really fun. And I was just like not caring about what other people thought of me, not caring about like anybody else. And I usually am a little bit more reserved when it comes to that. I'm like, my mind is going everywhere, but I just kind of let go. And ever since then, like the following Sunday, on Easter Sunday, I was just praising God, saying hallelujah, just doing all that. And I was just loving it and just like letting go. And it just felt so much more fun. So I am progressing in that area and I'm really happy to see that. So yes, that's a rose. Oh, another rose is today. Well, I put in about 4 applications to different places. And today I got an invite to do one of those like recorded interviews. I've never really done them before. I did it like one time for like a hotel like years ago and I didn't get it. And I really don't know like how they work. But I did try to research the company a little bit while I was at work today. The only thing about it is that it's at a casino. And so I'm trying to pray about it and see like how that is going to work out. But the position is for promotions and event wait, let me start again. Promotion/event coordinator. There we go. And I'll be doing like a lot of stuff because it's really like an entertainment hub. That casino it has everything that you could possibly think of. So I'm excited about it because it just looks dope, but I'm still going to pray about it just to make sure that that is something that is supposed to be for me, because I don't want to take a counterfeit that comes and it's really just the first thing that I'm jumping at because it's the first thing that's going to offer me an interview. So I'm really trying to see. Plus, they didn't have the pay listed on there. So I'm like, oh, like, what's the pay? So, right. And Norfolk, honestly, they be playing with the pay. So if it's not what I'm at or more, honestly, it needs to be more. But if it's not what I'm at or more, then I can't take it. And so those are my roses, my buds. What is coming up? Well, I finished week 4. I've been kind of like slacking on my certification thing. But I just finished week 4 today. So I have 2 more weeks. So I'm excited to finish that. And now that I'm actually like applying and getting interviews places, I need to kick that into high gear so I can actually like present my certificate. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with that word today. So I can present my certificate to them at the interview. So I really want to like, kick that up. So that I guess that's a bud. And then a thorn, Jay. I'm in the same boat as you. I tried to make overnight oats and that was just not it. So the issue was, 1, I think I was missing yogurt. 2, it was so nasty. 2, I used like peanut butter that didn't have sugar in it. So it was just nasty. It was just real bad. I was like, yo, this is gross. And like my reaction was truly my reaction. I even had my coworker try it and she was like, yeah. I was like, girl, try to put your own risk. And she even rated it a 7 on the nasty scale. And I said, see? Exactly.
On the nasty scale.
On the nasty scale. Dang, that was nasty.
It was a 7. I said, yeah. And I'm mad because I made 2 jars.
Oh,
Bro,
Right.
so sorry.
So now I gotta throw it away and I gotta try it again. But my cinnamon, I leave my cinnamon at work because I usually make my oatmeal at work. And I left my cinnamon there again. So I'm gonna have to try it again the next day. So I'll give y'all the update when it gets better. But yeah, it was all bad. And then on top of that, so the reason why I found out that it was no sugar in the peanut butter was because my plan B was I had bagels at work already, and I bought the peanut butter with me so I could have bagels and peanut butter in case it didn't work out. So I'm already thinking ahead. No, I went heated up the bagel. First of all, I think it's a little old anyway because it was real crumbly. So I was like, this is just not working. And then I put the peanut butter on top, and then I ate it. I was like, why the hell is everything nasty?
Just throw the whole breakfast away, bro. Wait till lunch.
Yeah, you gotta try again at lunch.
So the third time was a charm, and I had some oatmeal on deck that I got. So I was like, okay, you know what? Thank God I love to keep food around. I was just gonna be out of breakfast, but I had the oatmeal and it was good. So we survived.
Amen. That's actually when the nasty scale is hilarious. Because what?
I had to have it rated. I was like, girl, you have to feel my pain right now. Like, this is bad. So I wasted fruit, oats, milk, the whole 9.
I definitely did that before. But the same exact mistake as you. But instead, mine were supposed to be like chocolate, peanut butter, overnight oats. And it was just like I didn't know cocoa powder was just not sweetened. So I remember, and I was at work, and I'm like looking at these oats, like, okay, I take the first spoonful, and it's just like the peanut butter was all thick, like it was not mixed in well, and it just was not. Everything was bitter. And that was the last time I made overnight oats. That was for sure like 5 years ago. I have not made overnight oats since. I will warm up my oatmeal now.
See, and I've been wanting to try it. Now I'm just questioning it. Like,
You just gotta find a good recipe.
Yes, please.
It is gonna
please.
figure out the science for us because I can't.
Please do not let this discourage you. Like, I hear that it's good. Like,
just watch out with the peanut butter.
Right. Don't put peanut butter. Just don't try it. Just don't try it. I tried to replace the cinnamon with peanut butter. You know, I tried. I was like, maybe no.
I wonder if agave would make it sweeter.
Yes. And you know, I was thinking about buying some honey when I was at the dollar store, and I was like, get the honey. And I just didn't. But I thought the vanilla extract was gonna do something, but it didn't either. That's okay. Yeah, I was down bad. And I knew it was gonna be nasty. I just knew it. I had the bagels on deck.
But she was just trying to be hopeful.
I was. Did y'all seen how excited I was in the video to try it? It's okay. But that's, you know, that's a part of adulting.
It is. Facts.
Trying to transition.
Speaking of.
Since we're talking about adulting, though, I got a question for y'all. How old is too old to stop calling your parents over just like anything? I have so many questions about insurance. I have so many questions about mom. Like, does this make sense? Does that make sense? At what age am I going to stop asking my parents all of these questions? You know what I mean? Like, I literally have to call them or text them, update them on everything.
They signed up for this. This is for life, okay? They signed up for life.
Okay. Yeah, no, never. Call that phone, pick it up, ask. Right. It's like you could do. I was thinking about that today too, because what did I ask? I don't know. I was thinking about something. I'm just like, you know, like instead of Google, like, nah, I need to go to the source. I need to go to someone whose opinion I could trust. I need to call, you know, somebody I know to ask, like, you know, just certain things. It's like, okay, yeah, I could have Googled it, but like, I want your opinion first. So
my dad, he pisses me off with that. He literally gets on me every time because I call him about all my car stuff. He's like, Jada, did you try at least Google it first? I'm like, bruh, like, why would I Google it if you know the answer? Why would I do that? Like, you can tell me faster than I can search it up on Google. Like,
right. What if they lying?
And exactly. And then I could be getting tricked on Google. So then what?
Now you mad at me.
Right.
Make sure you're gonna get the best deal, you know, the best circumstances. They're gonna make sure that you get the best of the best. Google, let's be real, these businesses, they pay for Google. So when you Google the most expensive option, you're gonna see, you know what I'm saying, the most complicated way. And yeah, Google just too generic. It's too generic. Ain't no gems. We're trying to get the gems from the ones who've been there before.
That's like trying to Google your symptoms. No, you don't do that. You ask the doctor. Okay. Like, come on. It don't make sense.
And I be scrolling on Google. I be scrolling right past the sponsor because they be trying to have the most sponsored option. No. I need the real deal, Holyfield. Okay. Yes, never, ever.
And they spend so much money to be sponsored too. I swear.
And it really just be in the way. You know, I'm not looking at it. Google knows we're not looking at it.
Right. The fact that it says ad or sponsored, right? Like, I'm not looking at that. Oh,
I got a question for y'all. What do you think is the hardest thing about adulting?
Realizing that at the end of the day, you are responsible for you.
Yeah.
I think that one was like, okay, it's getting really real out here. Like, it's like, I don't know how to explain that one a little more. I just really feel like there was one day where I just realized, like, no, I'm responsible for my life, for my decisions, for taking care of business, making sure bills are paid, making sure there's food on the table, roof over my head. Like, it's all on me. Like, when did this happen?
How did we get here?
I would agree with
Literally.
Cam. I definitely would agree with Cam. Like understanding that now all the financial stress is on me. I have to be the breadwinner. No. That's so stressful because like then you have to put plans in place in case of an emergency, and then you are the ones that's having to think about that, and then you have to start paying attention to the news to see how that's affecting this, and it's just like, to me it's just way too much, and I'm like, can I just be a kid again and somebody just take care of me, because I don't want this. I didn't ask for this. I did not. And y'all trying to sit here and grow up too damn fast. Listen here. Wait, honey, wait. To all the little sisters and bros, wait, please.
Always cracked up to be.
Man.
Yeah, a big transition. I would say because like when I was in like, high school, even college, it was a little bit easier, but high school for sure, like my health and like working out and like all that type of stuff was like, people were pushing me to do that. And then like I got to college and like I was like, cool, I was going to the gym because it was right there, it's right on campus. I could walk to the gym, like this is no issue. But like now it's like, yeah, you just got to be way more intentional, like everything. Like, I got to be more intentional about what I eat. Like my mom used to make sure that we would have a vegetable with every dinner. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's something that I implement now, but like I still have to be mindful, like everything I'm putting in my mouth, trying to cook more. Really the cooking, my mom used to cook dinner like every night. And so like now I'm just trying to learn these new recipes. I'm trying to cook like her. That's one thing I call her about. Every time I make something new, yeah, mom, go ahead, text me every ingredient I need. I need the recipe. I need step-by-step instructions, like all of that. But yeah, like working out and like eating and stuff, just really, yeah, making sure that I eat is really like, and making sure that I eat, period. Cause I'm gonna skip a meal type of, I'll skip a meal. I'll get busy. I won't even think about it. I won't eat breakfast, or maybe I'll only eat dinner. Like really, I just gotta be more, just make sure that I eat. Like my parents used to do for me, or like in high school, you get breakfast and then you got snack nutrition and then you got lunch. Like there's a schedule for you to be on. There's no schedule. And I also been trying to like get into like like a schedule for my eating, like eating certain things at a certain day, getting in that rhythm, because that's like important for health and stuff like that. And even that is hard. So just like making my own schedule, like making my own track, like all of that is just like, it's a lot. It is a lot.
And
I'm
ain't
getting
nobody to be mad at
Yeah.
when you come home and you ain't take the meat out the freezer. It's on you.
No,
Man.
I'll be so
Can't
mad
be
at
mad at
myself.
nobody but yourself.
like, well, I guess it's cereal.
for real.
Bro, facts. That's so true. I
can't.
definitely agree with Desinae. Like, it definitely helped, and just watching what you put inside your body and how it affects you, and yeah, and taking care of like your skin too, all that good stuff. Like, you gotta start early, and at this point, like, it's time to get that stuff going, get into a routine with it, and start, realizing what's healthy for you, especially when it comes to eating. There's a lot of stuff that's in the norm where it's not that good for you. And it tastes good, yeah, but sometimes you have to do like those healthier alternatives. It doesn't have to be all the time. It doesn't have to be a strict diet, but incorporating it more into how you eat. So then when you do like those times where you do kind of eat unhealthy, it's not like, oh, I do this all the time, it's kind of like, okay, I get to do this here and there, so I don't feel as bad for eating unhealthy. So I've definitely been in the process of that. You see what I was trying to do with them eggless eggs. I just won't eat eggs as often. Like at first I was like, let me try, because I want to see if I could substitute it, because I wanted to stop eating eggs as often because they're really, really high in cholesterol. And the way my family worked, our bodies don't do that well. And so I'm trying to figure out like, what alternatives I could do. And I love eggs. Now at the point when I found out, I'm like, dang, like I wish I was one of them people who don't like eggs, because I used to eat eggs almost every day. So I've been still like, for a while, I haven't like eaten them for breakfast. And I'm like, okay, like I can do this. I found alternatives, but I'm like, dang, let me try to find something. And that was nasty. I'm not doing that again. And so I'll probably just have it every other time, or maybe when I go out to eat, you know, that'll be when I could do that. But stuff like that, you know, it's stuff that is like, duh, it's breakfast, eat eggs. Like, you know, if you're not eating cereal or omelet or
She
something
said,
like
duh.
that, you know, yeah, like, duh, you're gonna have some eggs on your plate. But it's like, no, like, you don't have to. It's okay. There are other things. So just realizing that with the things that I do eat. And there's a lot of options out there and stuff. So I've just been trying to explore that and not be too hard on myself either, because I'm still learning. Yeah, and yeah, so definitely health. And another thing too is drinking water like that, bro. I was not drinking enough water like I should be. Like I looked it up, just seeing like how often and how hydrated, especially going to the gym and just eating more. Like I need to hydrate my body more, and my body was telling me too, like, girl, you are thirsty, but I didn't know. And I found out that was what was going on, and so I've been doing my best to try to do that. So it seems like we're on like kind of like the taking care of yourself is the hardest part.
Yeah.
Adulting, all that other stuff. Yeah, that is hard because you don't have nobody there to do it for you or to babysit you on it. So yeah.
And I was gonna say, girl, you haven't tried egg whites, like just the whites. You know, like they'll have like cardan, the egg white.
Mm, yes, that
Less
was
girl.
the thing too.
And
Yeah,
I
because I
just bought
was.
today,
Oh,
so
you
I can try.
did?
Yeah, see if I like them. Before now, I was coming from the grocery store. I said, okay, all that cholesterol, because I love eggs too. Like I eat eggs, like girl, boil, scramble, omelet, whatever.
Girl.
How you want it?
I do eat a lot of eggs, and then so I was like, okay, I'll still get some eggs, but I'm gonna get some egg whites
Yeah.
too, so that way I can try to alternate and see if I really like the whole egg white thing. Never tried them before, but if they fire, I'll let you know so you can go grab you some.
Put some
Yes,
peppers in
let me
it.
know.
Oh yeah,
Girl, I put peppers, onions, I put spinach up in there this morning. So I was trying to make them little eggs good, but egg whites, that's what I was looking for initially when I went to the store. But I went to Trader Joe's on a Tuesday or it was a Monday, the day after when everybody clear out the Trader Joe's. So it was nothing up in there. It was nothing in there. So yes, please tell me how that goes, because I completely forgot about that. I got sidetracked. And so I could see.
Yeah, the self-discipline part is like crazy because you have to literally like parent yourself. And then it's just, and I've been having like really bad baby fever. Okay.
really,
Really bad. Really bad.
Real
And
bad.
I'm like, I don't even got a man. Like, but I want a baby. How that work? Like, God, what you trying to do? No, I was just like, why do I have this baby fever? Like really bad. I've been looking at babies. I'm just like, oh my goodness. Like why are my ovaries like punching at me right now? But that's a whole nother thing too, is like timelines. Like I've been really scared about June because I just don't know what to expect. And okay, for everybody that doesn't know, I'm not dating until June. And that's just something I kind of put on myself so I could make sure that I'm not, still idolizing relationships and men and stuff like that. But I've been really nervous about it because I noticed that it was like 2 months coming up. And I said, I don't know if I'm ready for that. And, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, I'm 23. So if my timeline wants to work out the way that I planned it when I was like in middle school, then I guess I would have to start dating now. And so I'm like, maybe June is where it needs to be. But I really don't expect anything to happen in June. But I've been scared that like I'm gonna be one of those women, no shade, but I'm scared that I'm gonna be one of those women that's like in my 40s still waiting on my man. And I'm just like God, I can't do that. And I'm like sitting here having a conversation with him, like I'm nervous, but like God, if you call me to that, I don't know. I'm like, I'm really like wrestling with this because that's not my timeline. But again, I'm trying to be on God's timeline, but I'm just like, that's not mine. Like I want kids now, like not now, but like now.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, like that means I would have to have my husband because I want to at least be married for 2 years and enjoy my husband before I start having the kids. And so I'm just like, man, these years are adding up, man. Like shoot, we're gonna have to get married the next day as soon as we meet each other at this point because I want these kids. And I also just want to be able to like, be kind of young because I had a young mom and then, like generations before, I just always had they just always had kids young. So I'm like, I kind of want to be a little bit younger with my child too. Like it's a lot when it comes down to timelines and this whole adult life, because you plan stuff out, and that's exactly how like the system makes you do it, especially college too. Like, what's your 5-year plan? Like, I don't know. But it's just like, I don't know. Like, and I always thought about a family because that was like my main kind of goal. And I've been thinking about my kids since I was in elementary school. So I'm just like, God, please don't make me wait. But who knows?
I feel you on the timeline part too. I do.
Yeah, big worry. I feel like for women too, the timeline is just like, I don't know, it's more like it has more control over us per se, because as women, our bodies got a timeline too when it comes to having kids. And that's not nothing that we can control. And I've seen I've grew up with like a lot of people in high school who like parents were like on the older side. So like my mom had me pretty young too. So like I had like a young mom. She's probably like only like 45 now or something. So, but I just know that like once you do, like hit like a certain age, it may be harder to keep up, with your children type of thing. I have an aunt who basically she was asking me like, at what age do you want to have kids? When you want to have kids? And I'm like, I don't know, late 20s, early 30s. And then she goes, don't go any further. Don't go anywhere past like the early 30s, because now I'm, in my early 40s and my kids are, young. They're 4 and 6 or something like that. Somewhere around that age. And she was like, and sometimes I come home from work and like I'm just so tired and like they want to, like they want to play with me, they want to be in my face, but I'm just too tired. And then I feel bad because I don't have the energy to, give them all this attention and stuff that I need, that they need. And so I don't know. Yeah, that timeline, it be on me too, because I really don't like want to like rush myself to have kids. Like I definitely got a lot of stuff that I want to do before I have kids, like a lot of things that I want to enjoy before I have kids. And so I don't never feel, no type of resentment or no type of like, damn, I should have had kids later, that type of thing. But the bodies are ticking, ain't they? So yes, a lot of pressure. I feel like it's way more pressure for women in that aspect. And I do be thinking about that a lot. And I definitely would like to be married too before I have children. So like that's like a whole thing. And it's like, yeah, damn, like I'm already 24 and shoot, 30s is only 6 years away. And I don't even know if I really want to have kids in the next 6 years. Like I feel like I kind of want a little more time. And so like, I don't know, I guess more so, yeah, I'll just be on God's timeline. And, if I get pregnant accidentally, I'll take that as this is what God wanted me to do. But if he gives me, the time to actually plan my pregnancy, I would be so grateful. I hope you listening, because I would be so grateful. I would love to plan it. I would love to plan it. But yeah, no, the timeline is a lot of pressure for us. And yeah, at this age, this is when like, yeah, we really get to thinking about it and counting up them years.
Yeah, that's facts. And it's easy to like say, okay, don't let the outside pressures of a timeline or a pace, get to you. But what about like the inside timeline that we have for ourselves? Like, how do we like get out of that, or how do we kind of like not let that pressure us too? Because it's like, okay, yeah, I don't care what, everybody else is doing or what seems like the norm, but I care about what I want for myself, but also like not getting caught up in that either, because it's like you don't know for the most part what's best for you. If we planned our lives and it happened as like we thought, like we wanted it to, we would not be where we were today, or we would be a hot mess. So like it's hard just trying to get out of that, what we think is best for us and stuff. So
and that's
yeah,
real.
definitely just you gotta just sometimes I'm just like, I just gotta give it up to God. Like, he got it. What happens, but like Desinae was saying, like a lot of stuff, I hope I could plan for and be ready for, but just never know.
Yeah. And Cam, I finished I finished Diary of a Mad Black Woman last night.
Well,
I
was
had
it a
to
book
finish
or the
it.
movie?
The
The
movie.
movie. I
Oh,
turned
yeah?
it on. I just turned it on one day.
And I got into it.
And
Have
we
you
were
never
like,
watched it?
no,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
rewatching it as an adult is
It was
like, oh my God.
yeah, it was wild. It was wild.
Really?
Yeah, it was
Okay, I'm
wild.
gonna have to rewatch that.
But it gave me like, I don't know, by the end of the movie, I just felt so much peace because I was like, wow, like she really went through that really bad relationship for years
Mhm.
and then got kicked out, was rock bottom. And then she found the love of her life. It still turned him down because homeboy got shot. And then like and then ended up going back to him and then like was happily ever after. Like it was just like so many trials and tribulations, so many different things leading up to that point to where it would make you think that there's no hope. I can't love again. There's no good relationship. I don't believe in fairy tales. Like there's so many things that happened to her. And so I was just kind of looking, I'm like, wow, like I don't know what's gonna happen between now and then. Like I'm sitting here living throughout my day, like, ooh, getting dressed in the morning, like I could be my husband today. Like, okay, well, maybe not because you're anticipating it. Like, so there's just like so many things that I'm thinking about like that. And I'm like, okay, I feel like I have to get to a point where I'm not thinking about it at all. And then that's when it's going to come. But then I'm trying to be like meticulous about it and have a method to the madness. And I'm like, I can't do that because even then it's not going to go. So I'm like, Jada, you just have to like chill out, like just chillax. I'm trying to find the balance between like a healthy desire of like, okay, like I can want a relationship, like that's normal. And anticipating and like kind of I think I've just been excited about like my love story and how God's gonna do it because I know it's gonna be awesome. So I kind of just like am excited. And so I'm just like, thinking about it. It's almost like a kid on Christmas, like, oh, I wonder what mom got me. I wonder what the presents. It could be a bike, it could be this. Like it's that type of excitement, So it's like it's low-key harmless, but at the same time, it's like, okay, but you might be sucking the fun out of it at the same time and like sucking the whole like what you're supposed to be doing, like the lesson or whatever, so that has really, really been something that I'm like battling with and dealing with. And that's why June is so like, ugh, to me. Like, I hate the fact I even put myself on a timeline, because now I'm like, dang, like if I so happen to meet my man, before June, I'm gonna turn him down because I put June on myself. But then I'm like, well, God he wouldn't do that, right? He wouldn't do that to me, right? I'm just like, but then also like once June hits, then I'm like, I don't really know how to, act because I feel like it's like such this pivotal shift and it's like it shouldn't be like that. So I'm trying to really see what all this stuff got going on. But yeah, timelines, they're definitely in there, and it's really hard trying to give that up to God. Like it really is, because like you said, Jay, like you have your internal timeline that you're messing with. And at like some stances, like you have to have a timeline for yourself to know what the heck you're doing with your life and where you're going. But then on the other hand, you kind of gotta like erase it. And it's just like the same thing with even finding out what you want in a man. Like you gotta have your list, but at the same time, don't have a list. Like it's weird. It's weird. Weird.
Yeah.
With like love and relationships and babies and things like that, I definitely feel like that's something that, well, we have to let just come to us. Like, I feel like as women, because, men and women, they are different. They are very much different. And I feel like we just have to work on ourselves and then we'll naturally attract those things that we want, type of thing. So like, and like for you, definitely, like, I know you're really nervous about June, but I feel like because of how much work you have put into yourself recently, you are going to attract exactly what it is that you're looking for, because you are exactly, where you said you were going to be. You've done all the work that you said that you were going to do. Like you're putting out that, so that's what you're going to attract. And so,
Thanks.
because I will say, especially like when you were saying like, oh, if I found my man before June and then I turn him away, type of thing. Just period, with like social media and like all that stuff, like the accessibility that men have to women now, I feel like definitely makes it hard for us to know you know, who's right and what's right. Cause I mean, it's so many coming in Barbar, like it's like 10 DMs right now, different niggas, all different things, like for real. And like you just, you know, never really know. And so I guess, yeah, it's really just like letting things kind of happen. Yeah, letting things happen naturally is like the best thing that you could do. And to just not force anything. Um, really just not forcing anything and just keep working on yourself so that you just attract exactly what it is that you want. And then, I mean, I don't know if, you know, when you know, that's what they say, when you know. So
Yeah, I feel like I will, because even with this place, like God gave it to me when I needed it. If He gave it to me anytime before that, it was not gonna be good. So I'm kind of trying to have the same mentality about love. It's just like when it comes, that's what I'm gonna be ready for. Like I might think I'm ready for it now, but I probably am not. I probably still need to go through a couple more things or learn a couple more lessons before I'm actually ready to go ahead and take on that responsibility, because we're rushing to love just like we're rushing to get up to adulthood. And it's really sometimes not all that is cracked up to be. Like, yes, it's going to give you like those things that you are looking for, but it is work and it's more responsibility and it's a whole new life. And once you're married, you're married. There's no potentially, but there's no, like singleness for real. So
yeah,
I'm trying to enjoy this time that I'm in, just like how, y'all youngsters need to go ahead and enjoy being young. Okay. So that's really like how I'm trying to look at it. Like, okay, let me just enjoy where I'm at rather than being so excited and so anticipating it so much to the point where I'm living in the future rather than right now.
It's one of them things where you gotta like learn to appreciate the here, because when you get to there, are you gonna realize that you're there? You're gonna be looking for the next there.
Yeah, the grass ain't always greener.
That internal timeline. Ooh, I felt like I felt that the most when I was trying to figure out, okay, am I really about to commit to dental school for 4 years? Because being at my age, being 26, turning 27, you really start to feel the timeline, because now you're like, I'm closer to 30 than anything else. 1, 2, this is the age where everybody's getting married, having kids, buying homes, starting their careers, working, living their life. And so it's like, when I was applying to schools, like, do I want to do another 4 years and then feel like I'm postponing my life? And like, what about having kids? Because I see a lot of women in dentistry who are either pregnant right now in school, which is a definite no for me. Shout out to all the mothers who are doing it, but that's a no. And then there's the moms who waited until they were established, but then it's like, you got established in your career and you own your own practice, but now you're like 35 and people are telling you have a geriatric pregnancy. And it's like, I'm 35. I'm not even geriatric. So it's like, you think about all these things and it all just starts to feel really real. And then I also think too about my parents. They were my age. Well, my dad was my age when they had me. And I wasn't the first. Well, I was the first kid, but like my mom had pregnancies before me. So it was like they had been trying, but they were married young and they got started on like family young. So it makes you feel like you're behind or you're off, just looking at all the circumstances around you. And it's like, well, it feels like your life is kind of like on pause. Like you're not really like living life, because until you get to this point that you anticipated for yourself, or at this point, because it seems like everybody else is there, it's like a milestone or a checkpoint that you're supposed to also be at this age. It's like, okay, am I falling behind? Or like, I'm not really like advancing into this next stage of my life, because I'm, not doing X, Y, and Z. And then I also think too, how you were talking about, Jada, like having kids young, so that way when you're older, your kids aren't like, my parents were in their 40s when I was graduating high school. So it was like, they got to be younger and enjoy like just being married again, and their kids was off, in college doing their own thing. So I'm like, that would be nice, but I know that it probably won't be me. I'm probably going to be 50 when my kids are graduating high school. Like, just based off of how things are going right now, the fact that I'm not dating, the fact that I'm very much in school and not having children anytime soon. So it's like, you really start to think like all of those pressures that you put on yourself to kind of meet these standards, whose standards are they really?
Right.
Facts.
whose standards are they really? And is it doing you any good to add on to the daily stress and anxiety that you already experience just by existing, by adulting, by telling yourself, okay, now think about who you're going to marry. Now think about at what point are you going to have kids. Now think about all this stuff. So it's like, you know, it is tricky where you do have to be mindful of biology, but not to a point where it's like you're causing yourself so much undue stress. I seen somebody on TikTok who, for her 25th birthday, she actually decided to freeze her eggs. And she was like, that was because I know that I'm in a PhD program now and I'm not having any kids. But she's like, I would like the opportunity to be ready for me. My eggs are at their, I don't know, freshest. I don't know what the term is, but like, this is, you know, the best point. I'm most fertile. I might as well freeze them now. So it increases my chances for when I do want to have a successful pregnancy later. And I was like, that is a smart idea that nobody talks about. We don't even know how accessible that is. Nobody talks about freezing their eggs until, you know, you're at the point where they're like, oh, you're 33. So if you're not thinking about having kids now, but it's like, that probably would have been a useful conversation, you know, before then. So I started thinking about that too. Not that I'm thinking about freezing my eggs, but it's just like, we have a little bit more freedom, I think, too, in this day and age as women. Technology and just like the things that we have, we can think about like fertility and carrying children in a different way than other generations of women have too. So yeah, I don't know. It's a lot to think about.
Yeah. And I'm thinking about like the reasons why they had kids younger. And even like the generations before, like grandmas and great grandmas and stuff like that, like they had to, because if they didn't have a man, or, you know, they wasn't having kids, like what were they in society for real? And so it was really, really hard. It's really hard to like deal with their pressures because that's all they know. And then having what we know, and then we're trying to like battle that. And so they're putting their pressures on us, but we're like, we don't live in that world anymore. And then also seeing, like you said, the benefits of having kids younger, because then you get to retire the kids younger and have an empty nest younger, you know what I'm saying? So like that is kind of cool. And I do think about that. And that's one of my main reasons why I want to have kids younger as well. But I'm thinking about those resources that you were saying, like freezing your eggs or doing, what is it called, like in vitro and stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm like, there, all those things are definitely out there, but then does come the accessibility factor of it, and like how much is it? Then you gotta start thinking about finances and then all that other stuff. And it is a tricky process because your behind could have quads, and it's just like, then you got to carry quads, and it's like, so there is a lot to think about. There really, really is like a whole lot to think about. Because I mean, it was so bad. I was like, forget it. Like, I just want to be a single mom. Like, I'll just find somebody, get pregnant, and then just be a single mom. Also, that's just because what I've always seen was just single mothers. So it was no deal to me. And I remember having this conversation with my grandma like recently, and she was like, "Yeah, do it." I was like, "Not you just saying do it." Like, okay. I mean, that's not what I want now, you know, now that I've been with God and like he's been speaking of certain things over my life. I don't want to do that anymore. But I definitely had that mentality just because I was nervous and I was trying to take the timeline into my own hands. And I did want to sit there and like say, no, I want the kids now. You know, I'm going to do this, man or not, you know, and it was just like, for me now thinking back. But yeah, it definitely is a lot to really think about. It is. And even buying a home is really a lot to think about too, because I'm like, man, it's gonna take me some time to save up that down payment. And then once I have that, it's like, then I got to settle down somewhere. But do I want to settle down? I'm the type of person, I want to go live out the country for 4 years and come back. I mean, yes, I could probably have a house and rent it out. So that is an option. But I'm just still like, I have to even have money set aside in case something breaks, because then it's all on you. Like there's a lot. So like my grandmother, like they're pushing me to buy a house, but I'm like, do you know what's in my bank account? It's not house money. I can tell you that. It's
You got house money?
Right. You got house money.
Okay.
So like that's really a lot. I'm like, I'm trying to go vacation and not save up for a house. And then on top of that, if I want my wedding to be soon, I need to start saving up for it, because I'm not about to go into debt for that. So like there's so much to think about. Even saving up for kids now. I think we was talking about that when we was out there. Yeah, like saving up for kids now, even knowing that you want them. Like there's just so much that you want to pre-plan for. So like that's that's even why you should probably have a 5-year plan type thing, you know, but then you still can't plan it. So right. It's
Right.
above
Okay. That's
said
wow.
now you look like
Yeah.
you had a revelation
You said
about the
me?
kids. Yes, it looked like you had a
Yes,
revelation
I
about saving
did.
up for
Yes,
kids.
I did. I and every time I was like, Jada, don't lose your train of thought. Don't lose your train of thought. It was about like timelines and stuff, and oh yes, comparing like our different situations. Like we say like, oh, like my mom, she got pregnant at this age, or I see a friend or an aunt or a cousin who got pregnant at this age, how their family went, how they're like da 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 da. And it's like we get one example, or we get a couple examples, and we're like, I don't know if I want that for myself. That's going to be me if I choose that route. But that's not necessarily the case. That's just, what's in front of your face, what you so happen to see as your example. So also not letting those, be mindful, but not letting that one or two example, set the tone for what you want, or be make it your reality. Like that's not the case. You don't know what situation they have going on, and you can be as close to that person as possible, but you never really know. And 9 times out of 10 you're not gonna be going down the same path as them. So what may have worked or what may not have worked for them, if you're in a similar situation, so you think, it might not be the same like you think it will be. So just be more mindful about who you're comparing your situation with, or I want this and I see somebody had this, like, so I want my life to be like that, or I want this, but it doesn't look like it'll be that good because I seen, somebody else and it didn't go well. You never really know. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's definitely easier said than done, but that's why I just take things day by day. Like I do think about for sure, like what I want for myself and what I would appreciate, and like kind of what I'm working towards as far as like my days go. But stuff gets overwhelming sometimes when you're just trying to figure it out. Like life is not figure it outable, like at all. And so just trying to take it day by day and just have faith in like your situation, and whatever happens is right for you. Because even though, like, for example, I know our parents encourage us like, oh, don't be like me, don't have kids young, da, 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 da. But also they did a great job. Like, for example, like my mom and my aunt had like their first kids pretty young, and they would tell us like, don't do that, da, 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 don't be like us. But also I have friends who had kids pretty young, and I've known my mom to be still very supportive of that, and be like, you're doing a great job, it's possible. I mean, they raised us, so it's doable. And so there's pros and cons to everything, and you kind of just have to get a feel for it and stuff, and try not to overthink it. But yeah, I think it's wild too, like Cam, you talking about the freezing your eggs things, like that just goes to show like there's so many different possibilities. It's not always just like black and white. There's so many different things that we can do, and how to live life and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that was my little spiel. Oh, another thing that I want to say, which is crazy. I've told of some of my friends this, but growing up, you know how we say, oh, I can't wait until da, 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 I can't wait until this. Oh, I can't wait to do this. One thing my dad always does, I mean, he don't do it anymore because I don't say it anymore, but he'd be like, mind you, I'm 5 years old. He'd be like, don't say can't, you're rushing death. I ain't never said can't no more. That's all you got to say. And it really just helped put things in perspective. Like, I don't do it anymore. I'd be like, I'm excited for, I'm looking forward to, but not like I can't wait until da 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 da. Like, no, yes, you can. And
Yeah.
kind of appreciate like
real.
the bigger, yeah, like appreciate where you are right now. Like just how we were saying, like, oh, like I want to be at an age so when I'm in my late 40s, I can, be free and have fun. But it's like right now we don't have kids. Like we can be free and have fun right now too. So, it's pros and cons to everything. And so, we have to appreciate where we are right now. And be happy with that. I feel like that's one thing also is like success, and thinking when people say like, oh, what is success to you, is most of the time it's talking about something in the future. Like success is, oh, I have this job and this house and a family. Didn't know, like, what is success for you at 22 years old? Like, let's get into that. What would be a successful 22-year-old Jada? What does that look like? How does that look for you? And it's like, oh, okay, well, I know I don't want to be having kids at 22 years old. So that's not in the plan right now. So what is success for me right now? And work towards that, and get into that. Because it's trying to think of that long-term stuff is great to have, but that would be success for you when you're that age. But as of right now, what is success for you? What does that look like? And I think it was Cam who said it, which triggered that idea for me, because I'm just like, people are always asking, oh, Jada, with the 5-year plan and all that stuff, like that's good to have. But I was just thinking like, dang, like when we think about like, oh, I know I'm successful when this, and it's always like a lot of things in the future, but we never really talk about like what is success for us at this stage in life. What does that look like? So
So
trying
what
to
does it look
figure,
like for you?
right. You said, what does it look like for me?
Yes, I want
Oh,
everybody to answer at this point.
yeah, let's answer that. Yes. I feel like at 22, what success looks like for me, honestly, like it was just so crazy. I think we could all say this too. Like going into 2023, like it just felt like, this is gonna be good. Like I just know it's gonna be good. I feel it. And I don't know if it's because we came in with that feeling, we had that faith, but it's been like that. Don't get me wrong. There has been some lows, babe. There's been some lows. It's only April, but it's been a great year. And I think that just goes with, being intentional about it. So definitely like success at 22 for me, right now, is definitely prioritizing a lot of the things that make me, like the little things that make me feel good in my day, like waking up and doing this and making sure I make time for this. That's success. Like, making sure I'm taking time for myself. Another one is sticking to my boundaries, because I'll set them. I know how to state a boundary, but boy, do I know how to cross that line too. So definitely sticking to them. Sticking to my boundaries and doing that. And also a big one for me at 22 is just being more intentional about like being with family and being with friends and just loving on my people, like, like they love on me. And so definitely that. And also a big thing for success at this age is being happy where I'm at and sitting with where I'm at and appreciating that, celebrating the small things. I'm always looking for something big to celebrate. Like, no, like something great just happened this week. We going up this weekend. Matter of fact, we going up tonight. So, celebrating the small things. So yeah,
Come
that's
on,
what
gratitude
success.
box.
Yes, girl. I did mine on Friday. So that one was long. I waited 2 weeks, but it was a long one. And I was writing, I was like, dang, I kind of wish I did like a gratitude journal. But I think I'm gonna do that next year because I just want to see this through. I want to see what it's like pulling
Yeah.
out different ones from different times. But it's really helpful, and it really does put things into perspective. And I think that's also what shaped my weekend and kind of the beginning of this week. After I wrote that entry, I was just like extremely grateful, and it was Good Friday, so I'm like, thank you God, like period. So it was a great, so yeah, that was a good question. What is it for me, at this moment? So yeah, that's what success looks like for me. And yeah, whoever wants to go next and answer that question.
Um, I would say I really do agree with Jay on what success is. I feel like all the in progress is also success. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you even took that first step, that's success. Every step along the way, that's success. And I just been reading a lot about really appreciating the process rather than the results. And the process is the success. The fact that you're even going through it is a success. So I feel like, so for me personally, I would say me journaling and, figuring out, getting to know myself. That is success for me. Where I am right now in knowing myself, that is success for me. Um, Not only, having a direction in like my career, but actually being like, I'm right in the middle of building it. Just being here in this space is like successful for me. Starting a business, with Jada, BRB, even doing this podcast, just like doing stuff that where I have the drive to help other people. Like if the purpose for this one thing is to help other people, to share with other people, that's successful to me. Can't nobody tell me nothing about I'm a successful podcaster. We're successful podcasters. This is success to me. You know what I'm saying? Better reading books.
That part.
We got some stuff going, just having that influence. That is success to me. Um, and even just celebrating like the small wins, like because I did have a big problem with like boundaries too. I had a really bad problem with that, and now I kid y'all not, every time I say no when I really want to say no, I feel so good. Like, yeah, girl, that's that progress. And that is success to me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just figuring out how to putting myself first, learning how to take better care of myself. Like, it's all success. Every small little step of progress is success to me. So really, yeah, where I'm at, if somebody were to ask me, do you feel like you're successful? I do feel like I'm successful. I feel like I'm successful right now. It,
Yes.
it don't have to take me making $1 million or buying the biggest house or buying the flyest car. It don't have to take none of that. I'm successful right now, so long as I say it.
That
Stop
part.
it. Stop it. 'Cause I'm
Period.
actually getting emotional.
Period.
That's like, ain't nobody tell
That's
us,
real.
you're not successful. Yes, I am. How you gonna tell me I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm eating good, I'm going to the gym, I'm I'm applying to jobs. I'm like,
I know that's right.
success is what you want it to be. I feel like I'm successful right now. So
Mm.
Yes. I can't
Yeah.
wait to listen back to this episode. We ain't
Oh,
even
no.
done yet. Okay.
Oh my goodness. And that's so real though, because like I think I was listening to a podcast before and they were saying how um the milestones, like if you just focus on that, then that's all your life is going to be summed up to be. And when you look back on it, you're just going to be summing up milestones. Like that's only like short periods of time. That might be like 5, So I'm trying to really, stop looking at milestones and success for me right now, honestly, like it's what I'm doing. Yeah. Like waking up every morning and really being so intentional about putting God first. Like coming from where I was to where I am, success, like huge success, and just like living in answered prayers, like having my own place. Like that was a large milestone that I did accomplish for myself. But I don't harp on that. I harp on like the process and my patience and my self-discipline and all of that took to get to this thing. I don't want to like memorialize the actual place itself, but like what it took to get here. Success for me right now is really just appreciating like the beauties and the flaws of myself, and honestly just realizing that all of them create who I am, and also just giving myself patience, time, and grace to grow. So really like stop looking so far out and stop like being so about the next and being more about the now. And I've actually been practicing that, especially with journaling and stuff like that. So that right there is a success for me, and really just trying to make sure that I'm giving God everything and not putting stress on myself and just relieving that as much as I possibly can. So I have really been so successful with reading books. I'm literally just pouring knowledge into myself every single day, and that's success to me. Like, and that's just going to compound, and yeah, like what Desinae said, like the influence, and really just I'm going after everything that I've ever wanted. Like any idea that I've had, I went after it. Even if it was a flop, I still tried it. And that's literally like my motto is just, hey, this is life, have fun with it, and the worst is no, or the worst is wasted money, and that comes and goes anyway. So I'm just like, hey, like the fact that I was able to do that and the fact that I am doing that is a huge success to me, regardless of where the outcome is. Like I'm trying stuff. So yeah.
Listening to y'all, it's just so affirming and exciting and empowering. So I hope all the listeners are feeling that, because I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it from y'all. When I was a kid, I used to do this thing where I would look at my hands and I'd be like, one day I'm gonna be this age. And then I would imagine myself at this age. And I'd be like, one day I'm gonna be this age. And I'm gonna imagine myself at this age. And the last time I remember doing that was like in high school. I was like 16, 17 or something. And I was like, one day I'm gonna be like 25, 26, and I'm gonna be finished with dental school and I'm going to be a dentist. And I was thinking about that the other day, because I was like thinking about how I used to look at my hands all the time. So I tried to do it again. Like, one day I'm going to be 33. I just picked a random number. And I was like, at 33, I'm going to be practicing in California. I'm going to be working in somebody's office. You know, I was just trying to like speak some stuff into existence. So success for me is being able to look back and remember those moments where I saw all of these things for myself and the fact that I'm walking in them. Like, I remember being 12 and writing out what colleges I was going to go to, and the fact that I was going to be a dentist and I'm here doing it. I would say another thing about me being successful now is that I said that I was going to get into Howard. I was going to get a full ride scholarship and I was going to live by myself. And by the grace of God, I've done all three of those things, and I'm still doing them. I just feel like there's so many different things that have like happened, or when I think back and reflect, like it's just been a lot of things to be grateful for, a lot of like growth. I wouldn't say anything that's been like too much of a backward step. You know, like Jay is saying, there's definitely some low days, some bad days, and that just happens with life regardless. But it's really just been constant growth and being able to wake up every single day and just be like, I have the freedom and the ability to like do whatever it is that I want to go and do. Like, I don't have any financial limitations, thank God. I don't have any like physical limitations where like I can get myself point A to point B. I have time limitations, I mean, because of school, but even without that, I'm still able to like live my life and create experiences. So if I say I want to go, like, I don't know, it's like 10 p.m. and I'm like, I'm gonna just go chill out underneath one of the monuments because it's peaceful and quiet, and I'm gonna do that. I get to do that. And I get to say that like I lived in DC for 4 years. That's success to me too. Right. So it's just like, I like that I'm acquiring all of these experiences and having all of these moments and ultimately meeting all the goals that I've been setting my entire life. So I would say that's success for me right now.
Yeah, go to emphasize. I feel like we all got the same thing here. The emphasis on what Jada said. She said, living in answered prayer, and like all the things that when we were younger, you know, like stuff that we said we wanted to do, that we were gonna do, and you know, just chasing what we want. That's what we doing, and whether or not we're there or we've obtained that one thing that you know we've been chasing after for so long, we're in the process. We're still doing it, and that is success.
Y'all are really about to make me cry. Like, seriously, Cam, when you were talking about that, it was just reminding me that I wrote a letter to myself 5 years in the future in high school, and my teacher kept it and mailed it back to me. And that was just the most beautiful thing. When I read that, I just broke down crying, because literally I'm trying not to cry now. Everything that was in that letter, I'm crushing it. Like, I'm doing it now. I'm trying not to cry. I literally I'm crushing it.
Yeah.
And it's just
you
like
are.
the growth.
Take your time. Take your time.
It's literally the growth, y'all. Like, literally, it was crazy. It was just like telling me, you know, like you're gonna have this fire for God. You're going to love yourself. Like, boys aren't gonna be like this huge thing. Like, it was just everything that I needed to hear. And it was crazy because it felt like God was talking to me through that paper. And I was just like, how did you know what to say? Like, I was like, you know, just remember you're beautiful. Like, I just want to tell you that. And it was just like so many things I needed to hear at that moment on that day that I got the letter. It was crazy. I was like, God, you definitely was speaking through me on that day when I wrote that. And to think of that was 5 years previous. And you know, I wrote myself another 5-year letter. I did, because that inspired me to do it again. So in my journal, I wrote I titled it Read 2020, whatever. And I was like, oh my goodness, like I'm writing another 5-year letter. And when I'm reading this, I'm going to be 28. And I'm like, okay, like, what do I want to say to my 28-year-old self? And I just asked God to like speak through me again. And I'm excited to read it. But yeah, that really reminded me. And it's just crazy because yeah, we are living in answered prayers, and we can be so focused on praying for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing that we don't look back and we don't see how far we've come, and we don't even just appreciate, like Desinae said, the greatness is in the progress, and reaching those milestones is just when the greatness is actually recognized and realized, but the greatness is being produced while you're in the process of it. And it's just amazing because I'm just so proud of everybody. Like, we're all out here crushing it and just doing what we want to do. And for the listeners, I really hope that y'all are really being inspired, because this is exactly like what 4 Deep is all about. Honestly, right here, right now, this whole conversation is just making sure that we're continuously running after the things that we want, whether it's spiritual, self-help, personal goals or professional goals. Like, everything that we set our minds to, these 4 women right here, we gonna do some damn things, okay? So check up
One
on
thing
us in
about it.
2028, okay? Check up on us in 2028, because we're gonna be somewhere. And I can really say that, like, for all my friends and the people that I surround myself by. So yes, y'all give me love.
That's what I'm saying. This is like
Oh,
right now. That's y'all got me fired up. Like, I'm fired up right now. Like, every time we have like this conversation, this is a really good one. Because when I tell y'all, I just feel the fire in my heart to really just, and like conversations like these too. I feel like a lot more people should have conversations like these, because it's easy to
yes.
forget. Like, this is very easy to forget. Even like before we had this conversation, not that like it's not always in the back of my mind, but I do still get caught up in the end result, and not thinking about the now, and living in my answer prayers now. I'm where I asked God to put me. Like, it's very easy to forget that stuff. And you know what I'm saying? You got to really be intentional and mindful and gracious, really be and show gratitude, like really show gratitude and just be grateful for where you are. Cause it could be any other way. It really could be any other way. And I'm just fired up, y'all. I feel like I can go do anything right now. Like, I feel like I can conquer the world right now. And that's what I love about 4 Deep. I always feel like this after we have a really good conversation, and I'm fired up. Fired up now.
No,
Reboot,
no, but I feel that too. I definitely feel that. We be feeding off of each other in that way.
Yes.
And I like that we opened up this conversation too, because I don't know the last time I talked about adulting with my friends like this for real. Like, we be talking about life, and we talk about us adulting, like, just venting about our situations, but not necessarily talking about like the pressures that we place on ourselves, the pressures that we have from family, from society, from all of these different places, honestly, and how that could be so like self-limiting. Not even that the world is like trying to limit us, but because of everything that we're internalizing and coming up with internally, we limit ourselves. And then we get tricked into this whole thing of, well, right here sucks because it's not what I want it to be. So when I get there, this is going to be everything. But we can't, like Jada said, you can't hop from milestone to milestone, because when you look back at your life, you're not gonna have those experiences. You're not gonna have a fulfilled life the way you would want to. And then on top of that, you're going to miss all of the beautiful things that are happening in this moment. The lessons, the things that are going to happen to you here that set you up for there, the things that are happening here that are going to be bigger than what's happening there. Like, there's just so much about being here that you can't be worried about trying to get there. It's like you got to take it day by day and enjoy each day as it comes. And I don't know, not get so caught up in being overwhelmed in the fact that, like, really, it's just, I feel like it's all the pressures of a capitalist society. That's why we got to think about all of these things in the way that we do.
Drops Mike.
That's what we want to get to the root of it. It's capitalism. But we can't let the system cause us to be, this stressed about living. We just got to remember life is about living. So just live.
Yeah.
Just be. Like, you can just.
And God has given, honestly, me more freedom to do that. Like, I've been finding way more freedom in him. And it's not just freedom of like, all the things that were holding me back that were like bad habits. It's really the freedom to live my life. Like I really don't worry about anything anymore because I know that God is already working behind the scenes and getting it done. And I don't have to stress about it. Like,
Exactly.
and we talked about having to parent ourselves. But honestly, I have a father and he's taking care of everything for me. Like he's the one that's providing the food. He's the one that provided this house. Like, yeah, I'm going to work, but he's the one that provided the job. Like he's providing for me. I have a provider. I have somebody that I can fall back on. I have somebody that I can call on when I need something. Like, and he owns this entire world. Okay. And Cam, he gave us dominion, okay, over this earth. And so like, I'm going to take up space. I'm going to use that dominion. I'm going to step into my DNA. Shout out, you know what? You just gotta watch you just gotta watch the sermon. But it's really good. But I'm just gonna, step into that and realize whose I am. And yeah, not put those stressors and, living in the world, you do get way more susceptible to feeling the pressures of the world because you're looking to the world. But if you look to God, you don't see those pressures because you see how like his timeline is perfect and how he's going to provide a way when you think that there is absolutely no way. And he showed me that on countless occasions. And so honestly, yeah, like all these things that I stressed over today on this episode, like pregnancy and finding my man and like stuff like that, like I'm giving it up. I'm giving it all up. And I actually did write down like a prayer while I was at work. And I was writing it down in my iPad. And it was really just like asking God for the strength to give these things up. Because I want to make sure that I'm not trying to control my life again. Because that was the first word that he ever spoke to me in like a large way that like slapped me in my head. It was like, stop trying to control everything. Like, that's why you're stressed out. Like, that's not your job. That's my job. So stop. And I was just like realizing more and more like his role in my life and understanding that, this is why he says it. I think he says it in Matthew. He's like, I don't want to misquote, but he says something about like my yoke is easy
and my burden is light.
My burden is like, thank you, Cam. And so like just remembering that is wild. And like I thank the Holy Spirit for reminding me of that every day because I have to really lean on that and lean on his understanding, because if I try to lean on my own, I'm gonna be stressed out and running around like a chicken with a head off. And I was watching another YouTube video today while I was at work, y'all. This is why I need another job.
While I was at work.
Right. But I was watching this other YouTube video and she was using Notion, our top dog. She was using Notion as like her Bible study thing and like where she puts her plans and stuff like that and like all her notes. And I was like, wow, I really actually want to start doing that. And then on top of that, she had a list of all the things that she was praying for. And then there was a column with like a date and a checkbox column where she was able to put the date that the prayer was answered and then like checked it off the list. And so it's like almost like a vision board or like a prayer board, which I wanted to create. I know y'all seen the girlies on TikTok creating prayer boards with the mustard seeds. Yes, I'm gonna do that.
Yes.
But I seen that on Notion. I was like, let me go ahead and create my my spiritual tab, because I have every other tab for every other part of my life except for that on Notion. I'm like, that's what's missing. And so I'm really gonna start doing that, and I'm gonna create that after we hop off this call.
I love that.
Yeah, that's my little spiel. I had to sprinkle God on there. I had to
please do. No, always
throw him in all the time.
Yeah. But it's important because I feel like when you overwhelmed by everything else in the world, I think that's just a reminder you got to get tapped into whatever God's vision for you is.
Yeah.
You gotta seek out what that vision is and find that plan. And one thing I always do is like I always pray for peace when I start to get in a position where I feel like things are out of my control or like it's not going according to plan or like, whatever the case may be. I'm like, well, God, just give me peace with whatever is happening here. Because obviously what you're doing here is important for what's supposed to happen. And so sometimes I just be having to like separate myself from my ideas of the future and just remind myself that there's a bigger vision than just me and what I could see in this exact moment too. Right. I also been trying to change my language too, because I say I hate it here a lot. Like I say that every single day.
That is dope.
Period. But I started changing that. I can't say that because words have power. I can't be sitting over here talking about I hate it here and because this is what I was praying for. I literally was praying for this. So I can't also I gotta watch, how I let the enemy kind of like suck just the excitement and the reminders that I'm living the answered prayers and I'm living in these blessings. So I'll be like, all right, I don't like it in this particular moment, or I don't like what they're doing. I'll try and like change it, but I'll be like, at the end of the day, like, I love it here. I love it here. I love it here. Like, I just got to remind myself.
Yeah, that's important. Changing the language is important because it really changes your perspective. It does.
Yeah. And it be the little stuff too. Like, I remember when I used to be laughing, I'd be like, I'm dead. Like,
yeah,
I had to stop. I just be like, I'm weak, bro. Like, I can't let that come out of my mouth anymore, just because like I've had that moment when I've thought about it and I've been like, and so now when I do say it, I'm like, that thought always comes up. And so just little things like that, like, yeah, it's definitely power in words, like more
Power
than
in
you
the
can even
tongue.
imagine. And it's so just wild to see, and in some situations just sad to see. Cause so I try to be very, 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 very intentional about little things that I say often that I could change, or so heavy on that, watching what you say, and just be little stuff. Then when you think about it, it's like,
Because I say, oh, you killing me. I really try not to say that anymore. Like I say you're kicking me, because I can take a kick. I can take a kick, but you ain't gonna kill me, okay?
No,
I used to say a little, I'm broke all the time. Had to stop that. No, girl, you're not broke. And you're broke. You're gonna be broke. Had to switch.
No, even singing.
Talk to the budget coach clients, please.
Right
Out there on YouTube.
It's power in the tongue. Even singing certain songs, I'm gonna have to skip over.
What was that? The scissor song? I'd rather be in hell than alone. I said, girl, you better shut up.
No, I don't. That's not even on there, because killing somebody, I just killed my ex. I would never. Listen, I would never. It was no, Drake, Back Outside Boys, Tony Sevy on the Strip. I'm ready to live. I'm ready to live. Back Outside Boys, Tony Sevy on the Strip. I'm ready to live.
Right.
Live. No.
Heavy on that. Okay?
Listen, I'm gonna scream that one real wrong and loud, because I'm ready to live.
See, they be trying to get you.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, my heart is so full, y'all. I love y'all so much. Same. My heart is majorly full.
I love you too, girl. Yeah, this was great. And it's just a reminder, like Desinae was saying, we forget certain conversations, and I'm glad that these are recorded, because we can go back and stuff. And also just like, please, like, be my reminder, y'all, and if anybody who I talk to is listening to this, like anything that we've talked about in these episodes, if you see me getting caught up in my ways and just like, not really focusing on what I need to be focusing on, or just, like I said, getting caught up, like, please be my reminder, check me, all that, like, because I can't do it myself. And that's another thing too, like we were saying, it's hard adulting, because we're not so like parented by our parents anymore, or babied, or whatever you want to call it, but we do still have our community. I mean, for the adults in our life, we do still have that community. We still have our friends. So definitely lean on to those resources and people you have. Like, yeah, we're adults, and we, the first person that we need to ask help for outside of God is, ourselves. But we do have a village, at least one person, I hope. And so lean on to those people and those resources that you have in your life when you do feel stuck, and like you have nowhere to go or no one to turn to. Like, remember those people who are there for you. It may be hard to, remember, or just, you feel, there are a lot of times where you just feel alone, like people just don't get it. But you'd be surprised at, like a lot of things that you say and express, and how many people will relate to you, or what thoughts you and your friend may have that are so similar. Y'all just never talked about it or brought it up. So don't be afraid to, let out those thoughts that have been lingering in your mind, and just talk it out. Because a lot of times I'll say something and y'all will be, or like another one of my friends or even family members be like, girl, yeah, I understand that, or been through that, all that. And it's just very affirming, to know that you're not alone, but you have to, say something or, express that so they can, relate on that. Because one thing I had to learn is people are not going to ask you specifically about everything all the time. Like, you have the people in your life that care and they'll ask you, how are you? How's this going? Genuine conversations. But if there's something that you need to get off your chest, nobody is going to be able to read your mind and be like, I'm going to ask her this specific thing because I just know this is what she needs to talk about. It doesn't work like that. You have to be open and to talk about things and stuff. So yeah, that's been really helpful for me. And so I suggest doing that. Like I said, if I'm getting caught up in my ways, please check me. Please do. Don't be rude. Not too much.
Not too much.
No, please check me. Please check me because it's definitely needed. And I need those people around me that will do that and are looking out for me and will, make sure that I'm, in the right headspace. So yeah.
Good little spiel. I love that. That was
Yeah.
Check me. But not too
This
much.
is such a this is such a great episode for sure. I
We're
love
coming
it. I
back
love
to
the
back with
conversation we had. Yeah,
this was
is
definitely a 4D. So anybody who said it was
no,
3
like
last
hands
time,
down.
this is hands down 4D.
Okay.
What? And it might
Yeah,
be
this was
5 because
beautiful.
hell. Not
Girl.
but heck.
Just weird. Girl had me crying. I'm like, don't cry.
Girl.
Right.
And just to the listeners too, even before this episode, we were trying to tailor this conversation, trying to figure out what we wanted to talk about. And we almost talked about something else. We almost scrapped it. And it's just, I think it's just beautiful to see how this conversation ended up turning out. And I'm just so glad we went the route that we did and stuff because this was great. Honestly, this is probably my fave so far.
Yeah.
So I really, really, really did enjoy this conversation. And I say that all the time because I really do, but I really, really, really enjoyed this one. So it was great. I'm just so happy. So grateful for 4D. It's been great.
I know. And that just shows trust the process. Trust it.
Yes.
I prayed over this episode. I just want to let y'all know I did pray over this episode before we even hopped on. And I really was intentional about it. So I think God showed up and showed out because what I prayed for, he it was to the T. He brought it through.
Yes, use us, Lord. Use us.
Okay.
I want to say one last thing, though, to wrap it up for the listeners, just to kind of validate everybody where they're at. This life shit can get very difficult, but you are where you're supposed to be. And you're doing a great job, whether it is, in your job, whether it is, being a single parent, whether it's, out here trying to figure things out, whether it is, I don't know, wherever you are at a specific place in your life right now, you feel like you're not doing adult life right, or you just feel like things aren't how they're supposed to be. You're exactly where you're supposed to be and you're doing great. So just keep at it, stay encouraged. Remember to live life and not get caught up, and trying to plan the ins and outs and everything else, and make time for yourself. Watch out for burnout because that is very, very real. I think we sometimes operate in a place of burnout for so long that we don't realize what it means to not be in that place. Just make time for those you love, for the people, the things that you love. Take care of yourselves. Remember all that. You're a human first, and then a being in this world of chaos, and I don't know, you just never know what's gonna happen. You're all of that second. But remember, your life here is intentional. You serve a purpose, and we're here.
Yes. Thank you for that. Your ministry could look so different. Somebody's ministry could be a stay-at-home mom, while somebody else's ministry could be out in Puerto Rico preaching to young kids. There's so many different ways that God is going to use you. So definitely allow him to just use you in this time, and continue to pray that he just orders your steps, and just directs you through life. And as long as you do that, you could have the peace to know, like, good or bad, it's going to all end up to continue to do his will and do good works. So yes, thank y'all so much. Episode 6.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We're going to come back to y'all with some good heat next episode too, because we got these back to back. We just got 4. Like,
okay.
Right, we was keeping it cute for the first 5 episodes.
Okay.
But these last 5, better hold on to your
Sweet.
wigs. Hold on to your wigs.
And them hair pieces for the men.
Okay, hold on. Please. Oh my gosh. Yeah, y'all know what to do.
Right.
Like, follow, share, vote, comment, all of it. We want to see it all. We appreciate all of the support. How many views? Like, we got a lot of views on our last episode that we just dropped on Friday. That was episode 4. Thank you. And just wow. Please keep sharing the word. We get feedback, and we love to hear like just how our conversations are useful, and even like feedback that we get, or just like in addition to the conversations that we've been having. We really appreciate those comments and everything. And yeah, like always, our DMs are always open, our comments are always open. If you want to put something on your story and share it with us, we receive that. We are open to that. Like, we are, this is a community. It's not just us 4. It's not just us 4 and y'all are the listeners. No, like, we're an entire community here. So please engage, and, try to, I want you to feel like you're a part of this community. And that's what we want you to feel. That's why we did 4 Deep, so we could open these conversations to y'all, and yeah, make y'all feel like y'all not alone. Like, y'all aren't, crazy per se or whatever, when y'all have those certain thoughts and ideas and topics that you want to talk about. So please, please, please engage. Follow us on all platforms and all that good stuff.
Reach out if you feel like we've said anything that resonated to y'all, or if you heard any topics that we spoke about that you feel like you just can't talk to anybody else about. Our DMs are open, okay? We do not bite. We're down to have a conversation, just like we hear anything. You know what I'm saying? That's even more empowering to us too. When we empower others, it empowers us. So, feel free to reach out. We're here. We're here for y'all too.
Yeah. Okay, well.
We'll see y'all in next episode. We're gonna miss you. Don't miss us too much. But we'll see y'all in next one. Bye.